We all face chaos in life, unexpected tragedies, disappointments, and hardships, but some people stand resilient amid the storm. These are the mentally strong. What makes them different? Mental strength is not a gift, it's a practice discipline. Today I'll share 5 essential habits the mentally strong people cultivate. Internalize these and you won't just endure life's challenges, you'll master them. Mentally strong people cultivate the habit of responsibility. They understand that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we are always responsible for how we respond. This habit is rooted in a profound acceptance of life's unpredictability. Disappointments, betrayals, failures, these are inevitable. However, mentally strong individuals do not allow themselves to be consumed by blame or bitterness. Instead, they focus on what is within their power to change or improve. Taking responsibility means recognizing that while external forces may play a role in our circumstances, it is ultimately our choices that shape our lives. It begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" the mentally strong ask, "What can I do now to move forward?" This question is not about self-blame, it's about self-empowerment. By framing the situation in terms of action, they take ownership of their lives and refuse to surrender control to external factors. There is an inherent temptation to point fingers when things go wrong. Blaming others feels good in the short term. It absolves us of responsibility and provides a temporary sense of justice. But this indulgence comes at a cost. The moment we assign all blame to external circumstances, we give away our power to change the future. Mentally strong people resist this temptation because they understand that power lies in responsibility. By claiming responsibility, they become active agents in their own lives, capable of steering themselves toward improvement. Responsibility does not mean carrying guilt for things beyond your control. It means discerning what can and cannot be changed and focusing your energy on what can. Mentally strong individuals know that dwelling on the uncontrollable only leads to frustration and helplessness. They choose instead to put their energy into action, no matter how small. Even if the only thing they can control is their attitude or mindset, they take responsibility for those aspects. Moreover, responsibility is tied to integrity. When mentally strong people make mistakes, they don't hide from the consequences. They own up to their errors, reflect on what went wrong, and work toward a solution. This habit builds trust with themselves and others. Self-trust is a crucial component of mental strength. When you consistently take responsibility for your actions and decisions, you develop confidence in your own ability to navigate life's challenges. You come to see yourself as someone dependable, someone who follows through. Taking responsibility also means accepting the reality of the present moment. Mentally strong people don't dwell on what should have been or wish for an alternate reality. They recognize the futility of wishing the past were different. Instead, they accept the facts as they are, however harsh, and focus on what can be done in the here and now. Acceptance is not the same as resignation. It's an acknowledgement that reality cannot be altered by mere wishful thinking. Once accepted, they can move forward with clarity and purpose. Finally, responsibility is a gateway to freedom. It might sound paradoxical, but true freedom comes when you take full ownership of your life. By shouldering responsibility, mentally strong individuals gain control over their reactions, decisions, and ultimately their destiny. They are not at the mercy of circumstance because they have chosen to step into the role of creator rather than victim. Mentally strong people cultivate the habit of discipline over emotion. They understand that emotions are a fundamental part of being human, powerful, unpredictable, and sometimes overwhelming. However, they also recognize that if left unchecked, emotions can lead us down destructive paths. By prioritizing discipline over impulsive feelings, they anchor themselves in purposeful action rather than allowing their lives to be dictated by fleeting moods. Discipline begins with self-awareness. Mentally strong individuals are not numb or indifferent to their emotions. They feel everything deeply. However, instead of being controlled by these feelings, they observe them. They create a space between stimulus and response. For example, when anger flares, instead of snapping or lashing out, they pause. They reflect on whether the emotion is justified, whether it serves a purpose, and how they can channel it productively. This simple pause is a powerful act of discipline. One of the greatest pitfalls of emotional living is the tendency to make decisions based on temporary feelings. How often have we abandoned a meaningful goal simply because we felt unmotivated or discouraged in the moment? Mentally strong people know that waiting for motivation is a trap. Motivation comes and goes. It's an unreliable guide. Discipline, on the other hand, is unwavering. When they set a goal, they commit to following through, regardless of how they feel in any given moment. Consider a person striving to build a healthier lifestyle. There will inevitably be days when exhaustion, stress, or cravings try to derail their progress. Mentally strong people don't allow these emotions to dictate their actions. They've trained themselves to stick to their commitments even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. They push through discomfort because they understand that long-term success is built on the foundation of consistent effort, not occasional bursts of enthusiasm. Discipline also involves adhering to a set of guiding principles, values, or rules that remain constant no matter the emotional landscape. Mentally strong individuals define these principles for themselves and hold them sacred. If honesty is one of their values, they won't lie to avoid embarrassment or discomfort. If compassion is a core principle, they won't let frustration lead them to act cruelly. By living according to their values instead of their feelings, they cultivate a life of integrity and self-respect. There is also a practical element to mastering discipline over emotion: routine. Mentally strong people often rely on structured routines to reduce the impact of emotional fluctuations. By establishing habits, whether it's exercising every morning, practicing gratitude, or committing to daily work on a project, they create a framework that supports disciplined action. These routines become automatic over time, requiring less willpower to maintain. In this way, they protect themselves from the chaos of changing emotions. Another critical aspect of this habit is emotional regulation. While mentally strong people don't suppress their emotions, they do take responsibility for managing them in a healthy way. When anxiety or fear arises, they don't let it paralyze them. Instead, they confront it head-on, using tools like deep breathing, mindfulness, or reframing techniques to regain control. They remind themselves that emotions are temporary. They pass like waves if we let them. By riding the wave instead of being consumed by it, they stay grounded. Mentally strong individuals also practice delayed gratification. They resist the urge for immediate pleasure in favor of long-term rewards. They understand that discipline often means saying no to short-term desires in order to achieve something greater, whether it's saving money instead of indulging in impulse purchases, or studying for a certification instead of binge-watching TV. They are willing to endure temporary discomfort for the sake of their future selves. Importantly, discipline over emotion is not about denying or repressing feelings. Mentally strong people acknowledge their emotions fully. They allow themselves to feel sadness, disappointment, or anger without judgment. However, they refuse to let these emotions dictate their actions or their identity. They recognize that while emotions are important messengers, they are not always reliable decision makers. By cultivating this habit, mentally strong people become resilient in the face of life's ups and downs. They are not at the mercy of circumstance or mood. Instead, they are guided by discipline, purpose, and the unshakable belief that they are capable of facing any challenge that comes their way. Mentally strong people cultivate the habit of meaningful struggle. They understand that life is inherently challenging, but they do not shrink from this reality. Instead, they embrace struggle as an essential component of growth and purpose. However, not all struggle is meaningful. There is a difference between suffering for suffering's sake and enduring difficulty in pursuit of something worthwhile. Mentally strong individuals distinguish between the two and choose the latter. Meaningful struggle is rooted in the pursuit of higher goals, goals that require effort, persistence, and resilience. These are not trivial aspirations. They often involve transforming oneself, building something of value, or overcoming deep-seated fears. Whether it's striving to develop a skill, repair a broken relationship, or overcome personal adversity, mentally strong people understand that the struggle itself is a necessary part of the journey. They do not view hardship as an obstacle, but as a teacher. One of the key components of meaningful struggle is accepting discomfort. The natural human tendency is to avoid pain and seek comfort, but this instinct can lead to stagnation. Mentally strong people are willing to endure discomfort because they know it is the price of progress. They don't quit when the process becomes difficult or painful. Instead, they lean into the challenge, knowing that every step forward, however small, is a victory over inertia and fear. Mentally strong people also understand that meaningful struggle is not a quick or easy path. It requires patience and perseverance. They do not expect instant results or immediate gratification. Instead, they trust the process, knowing that true transformation takes time. This long-term perspective allows them to stay committed even when progress feels slow or setbacks arise. They are not discouraged by temporary failures because they view failure as a natural part of the growth process. Resilience is another crucial aspect of meaningful struggle. Mentally strong people have the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep moving forward. They understand that setbacks are not the end of the story, but an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of becoming paralyzed by failure, they reflect on what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again. Each setback becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. At the core of meaningful struggle is a sense of purpose. Mentally strong people are driven by a vision of something greater than themselves. This vision gives their struggles meaning and direction. When the path becomes difficult, they remind themselves of why they started in the first place. This purpose acts as a guiding light, helping them stay focused and motivated even in the darkest moments. Without purpose, struggle can feel meaningless and overwhelming. But with purpose, it becomes a powerful force for transformation. Mentally strong individuals also recognize that meaningful struggle often involves facing their own limitations and fears. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. It happens when we push ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. This can be terrifying, but mentally strong people are willing to confront their fears head on. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act despite it. Each time they choose to face their fears, they become stronger and more resilient.